Hi everybody, it's Blood and Plunder Week here on beastsofwar.com, and we have 3 fantastic mega bundles up for grabs. These include the Rulebook, 2 nation packs of your choice, and the cards that you're going to need to get you and a friend into the game. For your chance to win, get your comments in on any of the Blood and Plunder content this week on Beasts of War, Facebook or YouTube. Winners are announced in an upcoming weekender, so stay tuned. Hi everybody, welcome. It is time to learn to play Blood and Plunder. I'm sure you've been waiting for this. I'm of course joined by the guys from Firelock Games. I have John, I have Mike.
Hello.
Mike, you will be my opponent today.
That's right.
John, you will be our games master today. You are essentially Firelock's demo gaming master who knows exactly how to explain the game to people without doing what Mike does and overloading us.
That's right.
You know, you explained the game to me whenever you first came in, it was me just going... You explain it just like, Nirvana. So, John, who do we have playing today?
Right. So right now you are going to be playing our French militia.
So these are the guys up around by the manor house,
French
yes?
Caribbean militia.
But yeah. Who are they?
French Caribbean militia.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Is there a difference?
There will be. Eventually.
There will be?
Yes.
Okay, okay. And who's Mike playing then?
Garda Costa.
Guard de Costa. So these are the guys down at the ships. So I assume this is kind of an assault mission we're going for here. You're rocking in trying to steal supplies or something?
Yeah, running in on the on this French town, which is an illegally placed in Spanish territory.
Oh,
so,
I think you'll find there's a flag about here somewhere.
Well, that gives me permission to raid this village as much as I want. So.
Okay. So the question is, how do we start the game? Now, we have our gaming table. We have our forces. We are deployed. How do we begin, John?
So right in the beginning, you're going to count your force, see what you have, how many models, and you're going to divide that by 4. So from what I see here, you guys have about 4 each. So every 4 models is going to give your opponent strike points.
Okay, now what is a strike point? Because everybody out there at home doesn't know this yet.
Yeah, it's basically the opposite of victory points. You give it to your opponent instead of giving it to yourselves. So you count how many models you kill. Once you rack up enough, so if you have 8 and he has 8 models dead and he has none, basically you have 2 strike points. Whenever you have 2 above your opponent, then that's when you're going to have to take a test.
Ah, I get it. Okay. So I assume we're just playing a killy game here?
Yep.
Nothing fancy?
Kill each other to the man.
Okay.
Shoot each other and poke each other with sticks.
Okay, well, so how does the actual turn sequence begin then for each round?
So basically it's almost the same deal. You're going to go in and you're going to count the number of units you have, and that's how many cards you're going to draw.
Okay, so from our decks, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I believe I have 3 here. So I have 2 of the Buccaneers and another of the... Oh, I'm going to mangle this name.
Go for it. Let's see. See if you can do better than me. Probably not. I mean, probably.
Milices de Keepers?
Maybe?
No, not a keeper. That's Scottish. Caribes?
Caribes. I want to say
my French accent is god-awful.
Yeah. Just say French militia and
French
we know
militia.
what you're talking about.
Okay, that'll do.
They're French militia.
So I have 3 units, so I'll draw 3 cards.
Right,
1, 2, and 3.
And I've got 4 units. I've got 2 units of milicianos, a unit of lanceros, and a unit of marineros. Now, my milicianos have been upgraded from inexperienced to trained, and my marineros have been upgraded from trained to veteran. So they're going to get some more actions out of the cards.
Okay, well, speaking of the cards, let me quickly put one under... Well, I'll put my hand under this. I'll play open hand for this first one, right?
Sure.
So, John, if you want to explain exactly how the cards work once I have it under shot here, yeah? So, how does this work?
All right, so it's pretty simple. What you're going to do is everyone has actions they could do, and it's going to be named inexperienced, trained, or veteran. You're going to look at that. That's going to give you a certain amount of actions. Now, how the cards go first is going to be sort of like poker. It's spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs.
Okay.
Faster you go, the less actions you have, but you're going first. Slower you go, the more actions you have, but you're going last. So you're really going to have to think, do I really need to shoot the person, or do I need to reload and shoot them afterwards?
Okay. Now, just for my own information, my forces here, who is what? Because I'm a little unsure as to what each of my guys is here. So, experienced, trained, veteran.
Right now, those are
Buccaneers,
and they are trained.
Okay. And then my French militia.
Those are inexperienced.
Okay, and my Buccaneers.
Trained as well.
Okay. Okay, so this is going to be important because you have the different levels and the different actions the levels can take depending on who you activate with the card.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. What's the next step here?
So then basically after you figured out, you got your hand, you're going to go and pick a card from your hand, put it face down, and wait for your opponent.
Okay.
Now, it's worth noting that because you have more units than me and therefore more cards.
Oh, no, you have more than me.
I'm sorry, I have more than you. You have less than me is what I meant to say. Sorry.
Okay.
So because of that, you can go ahead and once I put one of my cards down, you can pass.
Okay.
One time during the turn.
Okay.
So I'm going to choose this card and I'll put it down right here.
I'm going to pass.
You're
I'm
gonna
going to pass. I'm just going to let you have it this turn.
So I'm going to play this spade,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to give my trained units 1 action,
Mm-hmm.
my veteran units 2. So I'm going to assign it to these lanceros right here. So I'm going to discard that. And I'm going to take my measuring tape here and I'm just going to give them a single move action. A move action that should go 4 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to kind of push them up against the building right here.
Okay. Hiding from gunfire.
Yes, they don't have any firearms themselves, so they need to wait for the opportune moment.
So they're just some sod with a pointy stick.
Exactly.
They're scared of those buccaneers. They could be pretty deadly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're just going to form up right there. And that's going to end my activation and take it over to you.
Okay.
So,
Well, I've passed.
You're passed. So, so we're going to draw a new card each, or play a new card each. Better said.
What do I want to do? I'll put a card down. I'll put these out the way.
Okay.
And I assume we reveal at the same time?
Yep.
So, 1 of clubs. I
Right,
really
I've
don't
got a
care
5
about
of
going
diamonds.
first right now because you're so far away from me.
Yeah, that's definitely a good call. So, I'm going to discard that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to choose another unit to activate. So I'm going to go ahead and activate these marineros right here.
Mm-hmm.
This card, I put this back over here. This card gives them 3 actions because they're veterans. So they can move 3, they can activate 3 times.
Yikes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them 2 movement actions, which will let them move 8 inches. So that'll get me all the way over here. Before this guy will get around there.
Ooh, hiding in the corners.
Right, so let's set up around there. All right. And now that gets me pretty close. Not quite as close as I want, but I'll go ahead and try it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot some pistols at you.
Okay.
So I'm going to shoot with only half of the models in my unit.
Okay, well, let's slow down.
Sorry.
You're used to the game, so John, we've had movement, so you get to move 4 inches.
Yes.
How do we shoot?
Right. So basically, everybody has a shoot skill, which is their base number. That's if they're in point blank range. Every 4 inches adds a -1 modifier. Or +1 in this because it's going to be a negative. Anytime you go higher in number, it's going to be harder for you to hit.
Okay.
So right now, he's above 4 inches, so that's going to add +1. The Marinero shoot skill is a 7. So a 7 goes to an 8. So he's going to need an 8 or greater. That's if he was shooting normally. But you're using pistols.
Right. So because I'm using pistols, I get an extra penalty of 2, which takes it all the way up to a 10.
Yikes.
So
Can you hit anybody beyond a 10?
With the rifles, yes, that were muskets. But anything like a pistol, bows, carbines, they cannot be.
Okay.
So I'm essentially at maximum range with my pistols. Now, I'm choosing to take half shoot action. So half shoot action means I shoot with half of my models rounding down.
Yeah.
So I've got 6, which is going to be 3. Now that gives me only a single reload counter when I fire.
Okay.
If I fired with all of them, I'd take 2.
Okay, so we're in the black powder era. You know, this isn't just rinse and repeat, pull the trigger, keep going. So I'm guessing reloading is a big thing for this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to reload a musket or a pistol.
Right.
Okay, and so you've got a reload counter of 1 there. So does that mean 1 action from the next card played on that unit, if he wants to shoot again, has to be spent on it?
Yes. Every action will take away 1 reload.
Right. So now with 1 reload, though, I could still fire with half my unit. So I could fire a second time with half of those models.
Ah, gotcha. And then whenever you have 2 or greater, it means you can't fire until you fully reloaded, or
right.
till 1.
So if I would have had 2 reload markers, I can't fire at all. If I spend an action to bring it down to 1, then I can fire with half, and it'll jump back up to 2.
Gotcha. All right. Well, you're taking your shot. You've got 3 guys.
3 guys.
We're on a D10 system.
Yes, and I'm looking for 10s. Where should I roll this? In the river here, maybe?
Yeah, roll it into the river. That'll do.
Hey, look at that!
Oh my God!
And the dice gods are
Demonic
favoring
dice
me
rolling
today.
straight off the bat. That'll be 2 10s.
Right.
Ow. Okay, he's hit me.
So that worked out quite well.
Yeah.
So now I could have chosen to fire all of my guys to go for a better hit, or I could have saved the action. I could even have fatigued them to move over 8 inches, because anytime you move more than 8, that's a point of fatigue. We'll go into fatigue in a minute. And gotten right up in your face and try to scare you, maybe get some attention. But
Yeah.
I think that was the right choice, especially considering that roll. So
Yeah. Okay, so he's wounded me. I assume I now need to look at my buccaneers for their save for shooting?
Yes,
Because I'm
basically.
seeing a save on fighting and shooting, so I assume there's 2 saves for each unit?
There is.
Right.
Okay, so a save of 6. So I have to roll 2 dice, get a 6, yeah?
Yes, but the good thing about your Buccaneers is they have a special rule called elusive. As long as every model in your unit has cover, you get a bonus
Which they
to
do.
your save.
Okay. So bonus is...
Bonuses is a negative, so basically you're going to go down 1 and you're going to have a save of a 5. So instead of needing a 6, you need a 5 or better.
Okay, on 2 dice. This is the point where I feel horribly and everybody dies.
let's hope so. Boom!
no, 9 out of 10.
You've
I'll take
maxed
that.
my good rolling.
Okay, that's a little bit of karma.
All right. So now, but you still got hit. So anytime you get hit from shooting, you've got to take a resolve test. So you're going to roll 1 die. You can look at the resolve number of that unit, and you just need to meet that number. So
Okay, so it's 6
meet
or better?
exceed. Right, 6 or better.
All right, and if I had taken wounds, how would that affect my resolve test? Would my resolve test get harder, become 6, 7, 8, or...
No, the way it works for every wound, you're just going to add a fatigue test to it. So if you would have lost a model, you would have to add 1 more dice to your pool, and that's how many you would roll.
Okay. All right, so looking for a 6. That'll be a 9.
Good. So
I'll
there
take
was
that.
No effect. No effect from the firing, unfortunately. I was hoping to get at least fatigue on them, but no such luck.
Okay, so you're completely done then?
Yes, that's it for me. So now you take your actions.
Okay, my guys are trained, or I can go for the inexperienced guys.
Right.
Mm,
Don't forget, your experienced unit has your commander in it.
well, actually, fine. I'll activate the inexperienced unit, which is these guys right here in the middle. Oh, and knock over my commander, possibly. So I'll activate them. What are my options now?
Right, so basically, the unit itself has 2 actions because they're inexperienced. So you can spend 2 actions to do whatever you want. Move, shoot, rally, reload. But you also have a commander. Your commander has a command point, which has a command range of 4.
8 with these guys. This is the
8 with them?
militia.
All right, so 8 with them. So he has 1 command point. With
Okay.
that, within that 8 inches, you can either add 1 action to yourself, but you can never go to a max. 3 is the max. You can never go over.
Okay.
Or anybody within 8 inches.
Okay.
Which will be both of those units. Definitely both within 8.
Yeah. So what I think I'm going to do is I will pass out my command action, and I will pass it out from here to this unit back here, because I think I want to get them on the move a little bit.
All right.
This unit, for its first action, is going to move. So they've got a move of 4 inches, yeah?
Yeah.
So I think... people don't start. Don't be eager. You get your chance to move in a second. So
So
they'll
don't
just bumble up 4 inches.
Yes, don't forget these guys have the drilled rule. So if you move them into base contact with each other, they can take advantage of some more accurate firing.
Then I will move just slightly short. And is it, they have to be in base contact with everybody, or just with
one.
another model
just
of the
another
unit?
model in the unit, right?
Okay. What? Well, there's a lot of these boys to move. Here. And does the commander benefit from this as well, or can he just be stood on his own?
He could be stood on his own. He doesn't necessarily need to be part of that, but
He'll stand on this step if I can get him to stand.
yeah,
There we go.
looks that'll work.
All right, so they still have 1 action left.
Right.
So I think I'm just going to use that to shoot back at the guys who just shot me. So I'll take a shot across here at these guys.
All right. So check your
And-
distance there for you. So you always measure distance closest model to closest model.
Mm-hmm.
So from there to there, you are exactly at 8 inches.
Okay.
Looks like.
And
Just
so it's
exactly
for, I have to be over the 8,
Over, yes.
or over every 4 inches to get the minus?
Every full 4. you
Yeah.
Think about it. It's like range bands.
Yeah,
basically.
and so because it's exactly it, I would assume you would count that as full 4.
Correct. Right.
Okay, so
So that's a
they'll get a
penalty.
-2 to their shoot stat.
Well, technically it's a +2.
Oh, yeah,
That's-
sorry, +2.
Yeah, pluses are bad because they add to
Yeah.
your skill.
I think I'm just going to let everybody take their shot.
Sure.
So, volley fire, let's go. So, how many guys do you have in that unit?
So you've got 9, including the commander.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be able to fire his pistol.
Mm-hmm.
He will have the extra penalty of 2, so he'll need a 10 because you'll have a range penalty of 2
Okay.
on top of that, and everybody else will need an 8.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 white die. I think I need to steal your additional white die for the 9th man.
Yep.
Well, the 9th man is the
the
commander.
9th
Oh,
man's the commander,
9th
right.
man is the commander? Okay.
Yeah.
And then that'll be the 9th man there. So
Sounds good.
10 on the black, 8's on everything else, yeah?
Yep.
Well, let's see if this gets interesting.
It's a lot of dice. Oof. That was a
One,
pretty good roll.
2, 3, commander hits for 4.
Mhm.
That's 5.
That's 6.
Pretty
6?
accurate.
Oh, no, that's a 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
5 hits.
so 5 hits. All right.
Yeah, this is what I warned you guys about before we started playing. Was
Yes,
that
you
as soon
did.
as the cameras turn
You
on,
did, yes.
the laws of probability just they just say, "Okay, guys, we'll see you later."
Right. So we've got a 7 save on these guys.
Yeah.
Okay? I do have cover from the barrels and the rocks here. So I'm going to. So I need a 7 or better to save these guys.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's see if these crazy odds hold out. Ooh, not so much. So I only saved 1.
6, 10.
So this is a good time to talk about fortune points. John, why don't you tell us what we could do with fortune points?
All right. So each player has 3 fortune points.
Mhm.
With that fortune point, you could re-roll dice.
Mhm.
You could spend it, and you could mulligan your hand. Basically, you put your hand down and draw new cards if you don't like it.
Yeah.
And you can actually save your commander, but we'll save that for later.
Okay.
But you have to remember, when you do a fortune point and you re-roll dice, it's all or nothing. There's no picking and choosing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't get to keep my 110 that I rolled to save. So.
Yeah.
So hopefully I do better. So I'm going to cast this fortune point out into the sea
Yeah.
and roll this again.
Okay.
Hopefully save some of these guys.
Good luck.
Oh, there's an extra one at least. The other one's under the bridge, and it's a 7. All right.
So
Oh, don't change it to a 3 on me. So I did much better. So I saved 3 guys, but I'm still going to take 3 casualties.
Hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and.
no, it's 2 casualties. 'Cause you
Oh
saved
yeah,
3
that's right.
and there
That's
were
right.
5
You got
hits.
5 hits, not 6. Thank goodness. Okay,
Simple math.
that's even better. Math is very difficult. So we're going to pull these 2 guys out.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll put them over here behind that rock.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So now-
off to Davy Jones' locker.
Right. So now I've got to take a fatigue test. So
Yeah.
I've got hit. So we know we got to roll 1 die for that, like we did before.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I'm rolling an extra 2 dice for the casualties. One
Well,
per
see
casualty.
what you get. So roll them here.
All right. So their resolve is a 5. So I do take 1 point of fatigue.
Oof.
Every dice that fails is a point of fatigue.
Okay.
So now 1 fatigue on its own doesn't really have much effect.
Okay.
It's just starting to build up. But if I have 2 or more fatigue, I'm gonna lose 1 action from whatever my card says.
I see.
Additionally, if I start an activation with 3 fatigue, my unit is shaken and they can't do anything except rally.
Oof. That's rough.
Yes,
That
it
is
is.
very rough.
Right. And one thing to remember, every time you shoot a musket, you gain 2 reloads.
Yep, and I did fire with everybody, so it is the full 2. So
All right.
these guys will get that. Okay. Now, I do like the fact that you have the dice counters for actual status effects instead of the little cardboard chits, because if you're trying to lift a little cardboard chit sometimes, it can be so
Especially on the
annoying.
deck of a ship.
Oh, yeah,
when you're-
yeah.
that's
so
full
the,
of models.
The dice, I have to say, for the status effects, nice touch.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So that is this done, so this will go to a discard,
Yep.
and
So
we
now-
go for a new one?
Yep. We're on to the next activation. So we're going to choose a card.
Oh, actually, no, we're not. Because I forgot. I thought my command
that's right.
point.
That's right. You've got to
I
move
did it at
those
the start,
guys.
so it's this unit here is going to get to move 4 inches.
Yep.
So I'm actually just going to use it so that these guys can really bundle up behind this and be a little safer and have the best line of sight possible for when the Lanceros come out from right behind that building, I hope. Yeah, I'm waiting for you, boys. I'm waiting for you.
Now, one thing you might want to consider, there is pre-measuring in this game.
Uh-huh.
So he's going to charge you. Anytime you go over 8 inches,
Uh-huh.
it's going to be a fatigue point for him.
Well, you don't know
So
if I'm going to charge those.
You might want to check and see if you're out of those 8 inches, just in case. You want him to push as far as he can, you know?
All right. Thanks, John. Okay, so there is 8 inches there. Am I outside it? I think just about in the more.
Yes, you're just out, so you're pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
So you fudged me there by that quarter an inch.
Hey, that can make all the difference in some of these
definitely.
games, man.
Absolutely.
Okay,
So-
so have I picked? No, I have not picked. You know what?
I've got mine right here.
I think I'm going to put this one down.
All right. You
Okay.
sure?
So I'm going to go with 1 of
Here
hearts.
we go. So I've got a 7 of diamonds, so you are up.
Lovely. That means I can give a trained unit 2 actions.
Yep.
So Yeah, see, the thing I have to think about here is what's activating when. So I'm going to let these guys rest for now. These guys are going to activate with the 2 actions. I think from where they are, they're just going to get into better cover.
Well, if you are thinking of shooting as well,
yes,
these guys have a special rule. They're called marksmen. When you shoot, you could pump 1 action into marksman and actually get a better shot off. So basically, you're taking out 1 range band and making it easier for you to shoot.
Yeah, nudging against that cover isn't going to help you anymore. As long as that wall's in the way, you don't have to be touching it or anything like that.
Oh, well, okay.
As long as it's between the 2 of us,
I'll put these guys back a little bit to where they were, or where I think they were. That about close enough?
About there. Yeah, good.
All right, well then they will marksman, and they will shoot back down at that unit.
No love for these guys. All right, let's see the distance. It looks like it'll be just under 8. Yep, 6 inches. So you just have a penalty of 1, which if you're going to marksman, is going to erase that.
So it's just their flat, which is a 6 to hit, or no,
5. They have
5 to hit.
These guys are monsters.
Okay.
They're very.
There's no point really not
marksmen.
holding back right now, so I think it's going to be full units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys.
Yeah.
So 5 guys needing 5s.
And these guys have another special rule.
Lovely.
It's called ball and shot. Anytime you roll a 10, you can roll an additional dice to try and get another shot off.
Yeah. So that's because they would load small, like bird shot in with the ball. Some people would call it buck and ball these days, I think, or something like that. But
so hang on, you've got the main musket ball, but they're putting a bit of buckshot in there too.
Exactly.
A little bit of some smaller balls in there. So it's kind of got like a mini blunderbuss effect up close.
These guys sound mean.
Yep.
But I mean, like back in this time, I'm sure they would have rammed anything down the barrels of these guns. You know,
yeah, sometimes
broken bits of glass,
whatever they needed to do.
You know, your grandma's favorite silver spoon. All right, well, let's see if I can hit with these guys. So looking for 5s, yeah?
Yep. Let's see. All right, so you've got 3 hits.
3 out of 5.
3 hits.
That's
and
not
no ball and shot.
No 10s. No 10s.
All right.
But I'll take that. I will take that.
So 3 isn't bad. There's some brush here between us, so they're going to get their cover again.
Roll away.
So we're looking for 7s here.
And there's one thing to consider as well. He's on a higher elevation. So actually, you're going to get -1 to your save.
Yeah, but he's not high enough.
He's not high enough?
It's got to be double so basically 2 inches higher than me. So
Okay.
I see.
yeah. So if he was up there on this big old cliff, yeah, be okay. But no. So I guess I'm going to lose 2 guys there. I don't know if I want to keep pumping fortune into them, but
Well,
you know what?
You do have a unit above me in this game.
That's true. But these guys are, they're kind of, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go ahead and
Okay.
go ahead and see what we can do here. All right, same exact result. So
Cool.
I wasted my fortune and I've got nothing to show for it. So 2 guys drop. All right.
I am trying to keep my powder dry on those fortune tokens just for right now.
Yeah, I always find it's best to just waste them all in the beginning. So that was my resolve test, and then
So that's one
so
more
I'm looking
fatigue.
for 5. So I do take another point of fatigue. So now I'm at 2 fatigue. So next time they activate, they'll be down 1 action.
Okay.
And
This is very brutal for a turn 1 of a game, guys.
Yeah, so
I'm guessing we set up a little closer than normal.
not too much closer, but
So
all right.
2
So
onto them. Yeah.
there we go. All right. So now I'm gonna activate one of my units.
Who's it gonna be?
So I'm gonna go ahead and now that these 2 units have shot, and this house is between us 2 here, I think I'm gonna activate these guys to kind of remove that option from you going forward. Oops, knocking ships around here. So they're trained units, which the diamond gives me 2 actions on. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them. I'm gonna check terrain. I'm probably gonna move and fire. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to move 4, which will get me just to the very end of the dock there. Oops. Okay. So the Spanish don't have the greatest musketeers. So their shoot skill is a 7.
Yep.
And I'm gonna fire at this unit here. And the distance is just under 8 at about 7.5 inches.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have a penalty of 1. I'm gonna fire with everybody, and I'm looking for 8s.
Okay.
So that's 6 models, and my dice are all laying all over the place here. Let's get them out of the way.
That's one thing working here has taught me. Police your dice.
Yeah. All right, so we're looking for 8s.
Yep. So roll away.
All right, and that was a single hit. So I'll take that. I'll take what I can get here.
I'll take that on the chin. So it's a save on my militia unit from shooting is 7s.
Right, so now
With no cover, I assume.
no cover here. So anytime a unit has no cover, you get a generic save of 9 or higher.
Oh, right. Whoops.
Right. So you don't get to
that.
use your cover value.
Reroll that.
Yeah. So
I'll call that a 7 because it was flat enough.
Let me move this boat a little bit.
Yeah. So that'll be a 7.
All right. So a 7 is not gonna,
One guy dies.
do it. So one guy goes down.
I will take the guy closest to the building, just in case those Lanceros decide to come out.
Yep. All right. So.
And now, am I doing that correctly? That whenever someone dies, I just pick someone from the unit. It doesn't have to be on a specific person.
Yes, exactly. Right. It's your choice. Whoever owns the unit gets to pick whether they want it from the front, the back, or the middle.
One design philosophy in Blood and Plunder is that units are static. They're not exactly where they are here.
Yeah.
So one guy could easily fill in the spot of another, move it around. So
okay,
we kind of just take that into account. So
what's John White doing?
Right now, I am separating the models just to make sure on how many strike points you guys have.
Yes, which I now have 1, by the way. So I'm going to put my 2 reloads on them, and then I'm done. And we're over to our last card for this turn.
So I kept this to the end because I thought it would be useful.
All right.
Which is a spade.
A spade,
6 of spades.
So you go first, and I've got a 12 of hearts.
Yeah. See, these guys really don't have any decent targets right now from where they are here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go on to an Overwatch or something, or is there any ability like that?
Yes, basically if you want to take an out of turn activation, well, what ends up happening is you're going to have to wait till he charges you. When he charges you, then you get to do a defensive action.
Okay.
So you're going to have to fatigue yourself. Then once you fatigue yourself, you get to take a shot with all your guys, or half if you want, into the unit charging you.
Yeah, I think these guys are they're going to sit there, do nothing. They're being lazy today.
Now, I will say they are pretty accurate shots. So all the way across here, they can probably still get a decent hit. So the range there is just under 24.
I think he's baiting you. I'll say the book.
Yeah, you see, no, I've had this happen to me in demo games before where I've been baited out by a tempting target. Oh, they can do this amazing thing. I'm not trusting people anymore. They're going to sit there and just keep those powder shots dry, ready and loaded for the next round.
Well, I was going to tell you, the reason I say that, I'm not so much trying to bait you, as you can do a half fire right now with them.
Yeah.
Right? You can fire, which they've got 5 guys, so it'd be 2 shots.
Yeah.
Not much of a shot, but why not try it? Especially because on that card, that triggers your fast reload action.
Oh.
So you can do a half shot, which will give you 1 reload, and then take it away as a free action on that card.
Oh. Really?
Yep. So you'll need tens to hit these guys, but you can do it. So why not give it a shot,
right? It's essentially a free shot, I'll take it.
It's essentially a free shot, yeah.
All right, well, let's see if I get tens here, No tens.
No tens.
A 1 and a 2.
So then you'd take 1 reload marker and you'd spend an action, take it off, so we won't bother putting that there.
Okay.
And that's the first turn. So end of turn 1, I have 1 strike point as I've lost 4 guys. And all from this bold unit charging forward over here. And you've lost the single militiaman.
Yes. Right, well, I'll tell you what, let's take a moment to tidy everything up, and then we will be right back. Okay, guys, we are back for a new round. Jonathan, what do we do now?
Well, one thing we forgot to do is Mike still needs to activate.
Whoops.
And I forgot to tell you my ever important command unit. So the card I played was a Queen of Hearts.
Okay.
So that's going to give them 2 actions as a trained unit. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to advance.
Okay.
I'm going to take 2 advance moves. So I'm going to move 8 inches total, which will get me to right around there. So I'll just move this guy over here and kind of follow suit.
Yeah.
All right. So now I have a command point with my commander. And I'm going to give it, my command only has a 4-inch command range. So I'm going to give it to this unit right here because they're in range, and I'm going to have them rally. So with a rally action, you roll 1d10 for each point of fatigue that you have. They have 2 fatigues from rolling 2 dice, and I'm just looking for their resolve skill, which is a 5. I got a 1 and a 3, of course, so no success there.
And
I will not waste. No, I will not waste my last fortune point.
Come on, just blow it away. That's what you do anyway. Come on, you don't need fortune to win this game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those guys are toast anyway. All right, so now we can move on to the next turn.
Okay, so draw a fresh hand.
Draw a new hand.
Okay, so I have 3 units.
Yep, and I still have 4, so nothing has changed there.
So if Mike would have lost a unit, let's say his Marineros, then he would lose 1 card and only draw 3.
Right.
Ah, okay. All right, so we have to decide what's going down. A hand shaped like a foot. No. I'm going to spend a fortune, spend that, and mulligan. So I'll put that out there, out the way.
All right.
So
must have been a pretty bad hand. Once per game, yes. Yes, you can do that.
Let's see if I get something better here. I go with this. All right, I'll go with this.
All right, so now I'll go with this.
Okay, so I went for 7 of hearts.
And I have a 3 of spades, so I'm going to go first. So, now that I'm in optimal position here, I am going to go ahead and check my range there. So I'm going to measure from this command unit here to these guys to go ahead and try to fire. So the range is less than 8, but over 4. So I have a penalty of 1 for the range. And I've got, once again, 6 guys. And my commander can actually fire this time.
Okay.
So 3, 4. But he's going to need a 10 because of the extra penalty of 2 from his pistol. So here we go. Looking for 8s and a 10. All right, that's a little cock there. So it's 2 10s so far. So, no. So 2 hits.
2 hits. Okay. If you might clear these.
Thank you, sir. All right, so let's fix this little bench to be knocked over here. So now you've got 2 hits, so you've got to take 2 saves. You do have plenty of cover from all the barrels and rocks.
And your save is a 7.
So on a 7.
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, let's see what we get. 10 out of 4, so 1 guy dies.
So yeah, so you take 1 casualty.
I'll take the guy at the front.
So 1 fatigue for getting hit and 1 for your casualty. So 2 dice. And the resolve is a 6.
5 and a 6, so they will take 1 fatigue. So if we can get fatigue dice.
So you take 1 point of fatigue. So now, I only used 1 action to fire. I still have a second action, so I'm going to use it to take 1 reload, bringing them down to a single reload.
Okay.
On that. So now with my command point, I'm going to try to rally these guys one more time. See if we can. Let's see if we can get them going. So we're looking for 5s. Nope, still no. Goodness. All right.
String of bad luck for you.
Yeah,
They're not liking it today.
They're not having any part of that. All right. Okay. So I'm all done. So your go with. Oh, I'm lying. I have only 1 action on that card, so I have 2 reloads.
Okay.
I was looking at your card for some reason. All right. Go ahead.
Okay, so all of my guys are trained, so it's 2 actions for any of them. Yeah.
Your French militia are inexperienced.
Okay. I think the only thing to really do here is I'm going to take it on the chin. So these guys back here are just going to spend both to reload. And then they are ready to go. Because then I can activate that French militia unit and get them to fire maybe.
You also have another choice. What you can do with any unit, you can never go above 3, but since you only had 2 actions, you can push yourself. Pushing yourself gives you a fatigue, but it also gives you an extra action. So if you really want to kill those guys or whittle down his command unit, you can push yourself to fire.
Well, his command unit has already went this turn, so I'm not worried about them. The other guys are really fatigued, so I think they're not really going to do much. So I think I'm okay doing it this way and saving my own fatigue.
Right. That's
so
good.
That's my brain on Blood and Plunder anyway.
That's not a bad plan.
All right, so we're done?
So we're done. So we're over to the next card. All right, so.
Yeah, I'll go with this.
All right, I'm going to take this one.
So I will go with 8 of diamonds.
I have an 11 of clubs.
Perfect.
So you're up.
Yeah, so that lets me give 2 actions to my inexperienced militia. And what they will do is they will just stand there and reload. So this will go away. And then the command point I will pass out to here to shoot at the command unit. And have no fatigue being extra passed out.
There you go.
But they will fire everything, so they will get 2 reload markers.
Right.
And onto the command unit. So what's my range?
So the distance there is just over 8, looks like. Yeah. So you've got a penalty of 2, and a shoot skill of 5 leaves you with a 7.
7s. I think I can work with that. 3, 4, and 5. So let's see what I can do here.
Okay. So only 1 hit.
Ugh.
Are you going to go with that?
No,
Maybe a fortune point is tempting you right now? No?
Fortunate to reroll.
All right.
That's more like it. 2.
Yeah, so 2 hits. All right. So you spend your 1 fortune.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take 2 saves. They have a save of an 8.
Make sure this goes away.
Yeah. So I'm taking 2 saves, and I pass 1 and fail the other.
Okay.
So I take a single casualty. Will be added to my pile of doom over there. And I take a 2 dice resolve test. 1 for being hit again. 1 for being hit and 1 for a casualty. So
okay.
I'm looking for a 6 and 2 6s. So they're good.
Last. Okay. Final card for the round then.
Yep. Well, for you, I've still got 2. You can pass now if you choose to. Oh, wait. And we almost skipped me again. So I've got a club.
I've
got my club with lots of actions. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and activate this unit of. You know what? That was going to be my plan. I was going to activate these guys, but what I'm going to do instead, now since you've so graciously unloaded these muskets, is I'm going to activate these guys to go ahead and attempt to charge. So they have 2 fatigue, so they're going to lose 1 action. So my card does have 3 actions because they are a veteran unit, right? Trained to get 3 as well. So I still have 2 actions, which is going to let me go ahead and charge into combat. So now this would probably be rough terrain, so I'm going to lose 1 inch. So I would need 6 inches, which still thankfully makes it there.
Okay.
So I only have to get 1 model into contact to be able to charge. So I'm just going to move here and have this guy just kind of stand behind them. So
hey, you're risking your mini standing them on the wall.
yes. So now I get to roll 2 dice, 1 per model.
Okay, so this is how melee works then.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll 1 die per model. I've got a fight skill of 5 on these guys. And so essentially all I need is a 5. So I've got 2 shots, and let's see what I can do. Now, I should say that had he been loaded with his muskets, had even 1 marker on them, he could have fatigued himself to take a defensive attack to shoot at me.
Right.
So here we go. I'm looking for 5s. Then I got 2 6s.
Yikes.
So that's 2 hits. So now that I've gotten 2 hits on that unit, so now you take your save. So you have a fight save on those guys, which is a 7.
I believe.
Yeah. So you're looking for 7s to save.
So 1 save, 1 dead.
4. So you take 1 casualty.
I'll take the guy closest to you.
All right. So you got to leave at least 1 guy in contact, though.
Oh,
so,
right.
There you go.
Okay, so 1 guy left in contact. That'll go to my dead pal.
All right.
And then I have to take these on the 6.
Right.
10 and 7.
10 and 7. Fine. I wouldn't be scared of 2 guys who are fatigued either.
I don't know. They're quite handy in a fight.
Yeah. So now they'll be able to strike back on their activation.
Okay.
So it goes by still follows the activation pattern. All right. So that's the end of that activation round. So now these units are now engaged. I should bring up too. So engaged units stay engaged until one of them is completely wiped out, or one of them becomes shaken as a result of taking fatigue and is forced to run back.
Okay. Can I shoot into combat?
No, you cannot.
Damn it.
No shooting into combat. All right. So now on to the next card. You can, and once I've chosen my card, you can choose to pass, or you can go ahead and try to do something. So
pick a card.
I'm going to go with this card.
I will pass.
As I anticipated. So
what'd you put down?
I have a 9 of hearts, which gives my trained Miliciano unit 2 actions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a half reload and fire at these guys.
Okay.
In the hope, which is going to jump me right back up. Jump me right back up to 2. In the hopes of putting another point of fatigue on you. So the range is just over 8, so I'm going to need a 9. So I have 3 dice. Looking for 9s.
Okay.
So I got 1 hit.
Yeah. Ouch.
And again, those guys are still out in the open, so you're saving on a 9.
Okay, so looking for a 9 on 1. A 3. No.
Yeah.
So 1 more dice.
I forgot. Part of the reason I was...
Thank you.
I don't think I hit anyway, but part of the reason I was shooting a half fire only is to not fatigue myself. I could have fatigued myself at that point to give you a nice volley out in the open. But all of my Spaniards have Ruthless, and Ruthless gives me a bonus of 1 when I'm attacking any unit with more fatigue than me.
So would that have been 8s then?
Yeah, it would have been 8s, but I don't think I got any 8s, that's all right.
Okay. So I now have to take a test on 2 with the 6.
Right.
Because I took a wound. 9 on 2, they will take a fatigue.
So I got a casualty and another fatigue, so that worked out exactly as I'd hoped.
And there we go. 2 fatigue. And I now lose 1 action on any card I play on them until they rally.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, so now we're on to the last card. So I've got a 10 of diamonds, and you've got a 7 of spades. So you're up first.
Yep. So my problem is, these guys over here are just a little bit too far out of the fight. But I don't want to advance, because you still have those Lanceros.
Yes. And you remember from yesterday how nasty they can be. So.
Yeah, my guys are just going to sit there. They're just watching the fight going, look at the idiots over there fighting. We're doing nothing today, lads. Just keep your head down. We'll be fine. We'll survive this fight. We're grand.
Yeah, though your best bet right now is to finish off those guys. And once you finish them, you activate your fast reload, and then you can reload your guns
Well, he
later.
can't because he already activated.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So you're stuck with the minus.
Yeah, we
one
should
action.
note too that a unit can only activate once per turn, with the exception of when it's given an action by command point.
Yeah. Well, what I can actually do then, I can still take my free shot from here.
Right. You can
Up
do that
at
again.
that unit.
Yep.
So that'll be 2 dice with
And
fast reload.
I'm a little closer now.
Uh-huh.
So now it's only a penalty of 4, so you'll need a 9 because it shoots a 5.
7 and a 1.
So-
Nada.
Nothing. And you reload with your fast reload.
Yeah. So it's fine.
And now we've I've gotten 4 casualties against you at the end of the turn here, and you've got 4 against me, so we're 1 and 1 on strike points.
No, I
so,
got 5 against you.
5, yes, but 1 point is what I meant.
Okay.
So
All right. So that's the end of another round.
yeah.
Alright,
So we're on to turn 3,
I think let's push on. So I'll get 3.
and I've got 4 still.
Uh-huh.
All right. So now we've got an engagement going on right now. So because of the back and forth system, going first here is often very beneficial, especially for me right now because I've only got 2 models left. So and 2 fatigue. So you're almost for sure going to wipe me out the second you hit strike back.
Yeah. So I'll put my card in.
All right.
So for me, it's hearts.
I got a heart as well, but I have an
12.
8 and you have a 12, so you're going to go first.
Yeah. So I will activate this unit here, and we will just get stuck into combat. So I get 1 for each guy. Yeah.
Yep.
So I get 4 dice.
So you got 4 guys. Now the
but I need
Buccaneers,
7s.
the Buccaneers shoot pretty well, but they're not great in melee. So they hit on 7s.
7s it is.
One thing you might want to consider as well is you can activate your commander, have them rally with your 1 point because you're going to be at -1, and then make them fight. So you can maybe reload and shoot those milicianos later on.
Not quite. So if I understand this right, the unit in the center here is inexperienced.
Yes.
Because I have 2 here, I lose an action.
Right.
My card only gives my inexperienced 1 action, so I would lose that action
That's right.
and have to use the command point to actually bring them back up, not allowing me to fight right now. Do I have it?
Sort of, but you're going to be rallying with them anyway. With that 1 point, you rally, and then you're going to command that unit to fight.
Right.
Now, but remember, anytime units are engaged, they can take fight actions, is what we call dedicated action. A dedicated action is an action that takes up all of your actions, but every additional action you put into it gives you a bonus of 1. So your 7 comes down to a 6. So it makes you more likely to hit as well.
I think I'm just, I'll do it the way I'm thinking here. That unit will activate and fight with the dedicated action for 6s.
All right.
Let's see if it works.
Oh, yeah, that worked well. So,
Pretty nice.
That'll be 4.
So now, in a melee, I can only take as many saves as I have models. So since he hit me with 4 hits and I have 2 models, they're gone.
All right.
So that's an automatic casualty. So they get wiped out. And now all the models in that unit can take a 1-inch consolidation move. You want to wiggle them around a little bit.
I'll wiggle them back from the edge here a little bit. So just about there should do. But they still have that reload, but that might be okay next turn.
Right. Okay. So now that you've gone with your unit, I now have 1 card too many because you've knocked that unit out before I could fight back. So I can choose to put that activation onto that unit, or I can just activate another unit right now. So, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put it on those guys and go on to the next card.
Okay, so next card.
That's what I think I want to do.
Okay, well, that still kind of gives you the activation advantage doing that.
Right.
Because I now only have 2 cards, you still have 3.
Correct.
So
So
what
this
I'm
is
going to
be
do
my
now
card here.
is, this. All right.
All right, so let's flip it over.
Clubs,
All right. Ooh,
7.
cool.
Really?
Yep, so
Wow.
you beat me by 1. So we both got
Unexpected.
clubs and a 7 to a 6. All right.
Okay.
So,
So because of that club, my inexperienced now gets a 1 action.
correct. They normally have 2, but the fatigue is bringing it down to 1.
Yeah, and they will use that to rally and try and get back into the fight.
Right.
So for the 2 fatigue, 2 dice. 6 and a 4, so they drop 1.
Drop down to 1, right.
If I can find the 1.
I got you. It's right there. You go. Okay.
There we go.
Cool. So,
They come out. Okay.
Right. So now you've got your command point as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have them, as they've cleared their reloads, you can have them fire, or you can maybe have these guys reload, or I think you've moved out of command range of those guys, so you've got to give it to either them
What's
or
going to
them.
happen is just these guys are going to return fire with everything at those guys.
All right. So we've got a distance of just over 8.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So it's -2.
Yep. Penalty of 2 plus 2.
Yeah, +2, and they are
They are
Shoot skill of 6.
6s, so 8s. And how many guys do I have there? 5?
You've got 2, 4, 5, and then 1 for your commander who's going to need a 10.
Okay. Let's see what we get. Nothing for the commander.
Oh, but you've got 2 hits.
2 hits.
All right.
And
So
those will be on 9s, I assume.
Right, so I do have 2 guys behind cover. So I am going to be able to take those saves normally, which is only an 8 for them, so not a huge difference, but I did save 1. So I take 1 casualty. There you go, you can add to my pool, and I now have 2 strike points.
Yeah.
All right, so
That was what I was hoping for there.
here we go. So I'm looking for 6s for my resolve test, 1 for being hit, 1 for a casualty. So I take 1 point of fatigue.
Okay.
All right. All right, so on my go, I have a club, and I'm going to spend 2 actions to reload, dropping this down to 0. Then I'm going to fire, which will put that right back on me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it right back to you. Unfortunately, you fatigued me, so I can't take advantage of my Ruthless special rule. So I've only got 5 dice, and I need a 9 as my shooting skill is 1 higher than yours, which is worse.
Okay,
Let's
see
look
what
for
we get.
9s. And I got 1 9.
Yeah.
That's 1 hit,
Okay.
but you save on a 9.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can get you back up to 2. Nope,
Got that
you
save.
got it. He shot his hat off. Poof. All right, so you still got to roll your 1 resolve test for being hit.
Yeah. Being shot at.
And I'll take a fatigue at this point. So you're looking for a 6.
10.
Oh, but you got a 10. All right, so that's that, I suppose.
Yeah, worth a try.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Okay, so
Okay, final card.
final card. But before we do that, I'm going to measure something, which is going to give me away here a bit, but it must be done. All right, so don't quite make it, which tells me what I have to do. All right.
Yeah. Well, you see, this is the thing. I'm down to my last card.
All right, so this is my card. You're going to pass or you're going to go?
Pass.
Pass. All right, so I've got a 4 of diamonds. So that gives my trained milicianos 2 actions. So they are going to use those 2 to reload, and then I'm going to use my commander's command point to fire, putting it right back on there.
So I assume we're just in the center again, are we?
Right. So we're going to just, I'm not this time. I really got to take care of these guys because they're really going to start shredding me pretty soon. Ooh, but that's an easier shot because you're less than 8. So I'm going to go ahead and hit them again.
Okay.
I am going to get my Ruthless as well.
Yeah.
So that's 3, 4, 5 guys there. So my skill is 7. I have a penalty of 1, but Ruthless erases that. So I need a 7. And then I need a 7 and +2 for the commander. So looking for 9s there. So 7s and 9s. Oh, there we go. I like that. So
Ow.
that's 4 hits.
Ow. Okay, so 4 saves. Thankfully, I have more than 4 guys.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Saved every one of them.
Beautiful.
All right, so you still got to take your resolve test. Let's see if I can get the fatigue this time.
7.
You've got it. You needed a 6. Their resolve is 6. So now there, instead of firing, and now in hindsight, probably been better. My options could have been, I could have just started advancing on you, because then with if I could charge you with the Lanceros and them, I can kind of take your center and then, maybe hopefully
out the
put one
sides
of
as
these
you want.
guys out of the fight, which probably would have been the smarter move, but, I could have...
That was some lucky rolling for me, let's be honest.
Yeah, I
That's
got a little
pretty
bit
crazy rolling.
pretty lucky for me too, but so our luck cancel each other out there. So, all right,
Okay.
so
Last card.
you've got to activate still.
Nope, I
Oh, that's
passed.
right, you do pass. That's right. Gotcha.
So final card, and I've deliberately done this.
All right. Oh, so we tie exactly.
Yeah.
So that happens more often than it should. So that's just a roll off. So we're both gonna roll, and we're gonna see. So I've got a 7.
7. I get a 7.
7. Okay. So
6.
then a 4. So you're gonna go first. Just like
I
you wanted, I'm sure.
Didn't want to go first. That's why I was holding that low club right till the end.
Yep.
I'll just take my 2 free shots. Or no, they're not free yet. We'll put a 1 reload on me
Yeah.
because it's not spade this time.
Well, you could
But
just
you
shoot
have
and
3
a double
actions.
reload, so you'll be fine.
Right.
Okay.
You can shoot a full volley this time.
Okay, so I get 5 shots.
Except for the fact that it looks like no, you're good. As long as one guy could target another guy, you're okay. So
Okay.
okay.
So 5 shots.
So
needing,
distance is so the penalty is 4 there, as being just over 16.
So 9s.
And no, nothing.
Nah. Nothing.
Those guys have spent a lot of shot down range, but
And then
not quite
instead
hit
of
anything.
putting the reloads down, 2 actions left, dump, reloaded.
Just get rid of them.
Yeah.
All right. And I think I put my card here for some reason, but there it is, yeah. No, that's right, I put it down. Wow, losing my mind here, sorry about that.
Oh,
so,
you're okay.
Jet lag, I'm blaming it on jet lag, that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, hey,
All right.
you guys had to come all the way from Miami to be here.
Yeah.
You know, so thank you for making the haul.
Hey, no problem, we're very glad to be here. All right, so now I've got 3 actions.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to take my chances, and I'm going to just bring the Lanceros out and just charge you.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, I think I've forgotten a thing. These
Oh, yeah.
guys fired a full volley,
Yes, they did.
so they should have that on them.
Yes, I was about to say. So, now they do, however, each carry a pistol, a sidearm pistol. So once he fires it, you won't be able to fire it again for the rest of the game.
Okay.
So they don't really carry reloads for it. They just got it there in case some Lanceros come charging them from behind a building while they're loading their muskets. So,
This sounds like a plan.
yeah. So now, I am moving over 8 inches. Anytime you move over 8 inches, it's going to exhaust the guys, so they're going to take a point of fatigue.
Okay.
And it's just over 8 to get there. So, but I've got no choice. So what I'm going to do now, and there's no way for me to get cover, I don't think, because no, I won't be able to charge from there. So I'm going to have to just run out.
Okay.
I can't get to within 3 inches of you. Every unit exerts a 3-inch control zone.
Mm-hmm.
So that looks about 3.
I will
Gotta
take
be a
the
little
fatigue
further
to
back.
fire the pistols,
Right.
of course.
So that jumps you up to 2. And I'll take my 1 because I'm about to sprint because I'm declaring my charge.
Okay, so I'll get 6 pistol shots?
You'll get 6 pistol shots. Now, at point blank, the penalty for a pistol is only 1.
Okay.
So you're going to need a 7 to hit, and you can fire your commanders along with the rest of them. So you've got 6 shots, needing a 7. This could be dangerous for me, but I'm going to hope for a bad roll. Which you did not get, of course.
That'll be 3
50%
hits.
is not bad.
50% on a 7
Okay.
is
All right.
nowhere near bad.
Nope. So I've got, so they're in the open. So I've got to save these on a 9.
Yeah.
So here's to luck. Save 1.
Saved 1.
Which is, so I'm going to lose 2. But, you know.
Do you have any point? Or, well,
I do, but really statistically, you know
yeah.
what? Let's see
what would have happened.
I'll just do it. I'm just going to charge it. I'll charge it with 2 guys and I'll take that. But let's see what the resolve test. I'm better off spending it on that. So I'm going to drop 2.
Okay.
So these guys go down. Add them to my collection of failure and misery. All right. So on the resolve test, I take no fatigue. All right. So that's great. I'll take that all day long. So those 2 guys are going to do some work. So let's get over here now that we've charged. All right.
Boom.
So I'm going to move as many models as I can into contact there. So now I've got 2 dice attack on you.
Yep.
Now, their fight skill is a 5, but they're ruthless. I've got 1 fatigue. You've got 2.
Yep.
So I'm going to bring them down to a 4.
Ooh, this is going to hurt.
So here we go. We got to get all these hits. We got to get 2 hits here. That's all I'll accept. So we're going to spend that fortune point. And whatever. So it is what it is.
That
10
one
and a
followed
1.
you.
So you've got to take 1 save now.
Okay.
And your save is a 7.
Yeah.
But because you're charged with lances, that's going to give you a penalty of 1,
then?
bringing your save up to an 8. Right.
Ooh. All right. 8. Nope.
No,
1
that
dice.
doesn't. 1 dies, which is just enough. Nice try. I saw that.
That was accidental. So I'll put that with my pile of the dead.
And so now I've got to take 2 resolve tests. So I could send you running. That is a possibility here. Yes,
5 and a
I do.
9.
So their resolve is a 6. So you failed 1. That brings you up to 3 fatigue. So 3 fatigue forces you to retreat. So you're going to have to move those guys back 4
Okay, I'm
inches.
seeing it now says shaken on it.
It does, right?
Is that what's forcing me to retreat?
Exactly. You've become shaken, which basically means your morale is completely broken. They're running off, terrified of the 2 lancers poking them with the sticks. So.
They're inexperienced. They're fresh off the boat.
Right.
All right, so 4-inch retreat then?
Yep, so 4-inch retreat.
Okay, so let's move this stuff out of the way. 4 inches will bring me to about here.
Yeah, looks about right.
So get back into the house, lads. But does that bring me completely out of combat?
Yes. That takes you... We got this guy.
Yeah, last guy.
So that does take you completely out of combat. Now, I've got a choice here. So you keep those reloads and your 3 fatigue.
Uh-huh.
So now I've got a choice here. I can choose to follow up and stay engaged with them and keep them locked in melee. A unit that's shaken gets no saves in combat. So if I get to go first next turn, I can strike them again and I'm almost guaranteed to get at least 1 casualty, which probably going to send them running more. Now, although if I do that, I'm going to have 2 fresh units of buccaneers right here
Yeah,
at
ready.
very
just to-
close range, ready to just wail on me.
Yeah.
Rather, if I don't engage, that's what'll happen. Now, if I don't engage too and I get to go first, I get to get my charge bonus again with the lances. So, but I think I'm going to play it safe, as I've already taken a lot of casualties, and
Staying in combat?
I'm going to stay in combat. So,
Okay. Whew. Okay.
So that's the end of the turn.
Okay, so we draw up again.
Yep.
This time you only get 3.
So we're on turn 5 now, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Now, how long does a regular game last?
A regular game, this is a 100-point game, so this is a little smaller than your typical 200-point game. And a 100-point game can be done in 30 minutes to an hour, typically.
Okay.
And once you learn the rules, of course.
Yeah.
And a 200-point game takes just a little longer than that, about an hour to hour and a half.
Okay. All right. Well, I've
Right.
picked my card.
I have gotten an event card.
Ooh. So
now-
what is this?
So an event card, well, let me not replace it yet because I may not be able to. So an event card makes me roll on a table to see as something has happened in the game.
So this is something a little narrative.
So I've got a 5. Yeah. What does that do for me, John?
5 is a weather change and a wind change.
Okay, so wind change isn't going to have any effect on this as we're not sailing ships.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to roll in the weather chart, and let's see what we get. So we get a 6. I think that's Blinding Sun, if I'm not mistaken.
6.
Okay, so hang on. This is essentially our little cinematic moments that can just happen during a battle, yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so the weather has changed, and what is it has changed to?
Right now, 5 or 6 is no change, so actually you're
change.
fine.
So nothing
All
happens, unfortunately. So something could have happened, but didn't quite get there.
So the world collectively holds its breath for a moment.
So
and
some
nada.
some of the things that could have happened were it could have started to rain, which would have affected our ability to fire muskets and some line of sight. Blinding Sun, which would affect that. We could have had a bunch of things of that nature, but thankfully, I replaced that. Could have gone worse too. I could have got a non-weather event. I could have gotten something that made me lose a card, or gain a fatigue, or it could have gone well for me, and I could have gained an extra action or a command point or something along those lines.
Nice. All right, well, I've chosen my card. Just let me.
All right. Yep. So I'm going to take mine. I have a feeling I'm going to lose this. Yep.
Yep. 12 of spades.
1 of spades. So it was a spade, but the lowest one. So.
Yep. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to try and take out those Lanceros.
Right.
My melee is crap, but there's still enough of me that I think I can hit.
Now you've got one problem. Your problem is that you're shaken. So a unit that begins an activation shaken all they can do is rally.
Blast. Right, not doing that.
But the good thing about that though is that if you are able to rally, so what you
I
can
have
do,
my command.
right? Well, you won't be able to because they started shaken. They can't fight back this turn, no matter what. But what you can do though is you'll be able to get saves if I hit you. Because right now you get no saves while you're shaking.
Okay,
they're just busy running.
Yeah,
That's all they're
let's
thinking
do
about.
that. So I have to roll 3 dice looking for the 6, yeah?
Yeah. So what your commander's going to do is he's going to give you his extra point. When you're shaken, rallying becomes a dedicated action.
Okay.
So now instead of 6s, you'll need 5s.
5s? Okay.
Right.
I cannot, I'll take that all day long. Yep, I get 2 back.
So 2 back. So you're down to 1. So you're now back into fighting shape. So with
I
my
can live with that.
right. So with my 1 action now, I'm going to go ahead and try to kill me some more of those guys.
Yeah.
The good thing is now that you guys are even, his
I
ruthless
don't get
doesn't proc
ruthless.
off.
Yeah. I don't get ruthless and I don't get the lance bonus because this is just a continuing melee. So I'm just looking for 5s here.
Okay, that's still pretty good.
Yeah. So 9 and a 3. So 1 hit again, and you save on your regular save, which is a 7.
Yeah. 7. No,
No.
1 dice.
1 will always do it.
Yeah. So, 1 dead. And then 2 for the resolve. Looking 6s. 10 and a 4, so I take 1 fatigue again.
Take 1 fatigue, but you're not shaken this time.
Yeah, that's still okay.
Yep.
I can maybe just about hold out here.
Right. So now we're on to the next card.
Ah, yes. Okay, I've picked.
All right. So have I. I'm going to take this card.
Hearts.
Hearts also, but a 5.
And mine's a 2, so you'll get to go first.
That is correct. So I'm going to spend my command point on my own unit, and I'm going to go ahead and advance forward right here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to follow everybody else up behind them. All right. And I'm going to use the 2 actions of my card. I'm going to spend 1 to reload and another 1 to fire. So bump me right back up to 2.
Okay.
And I'm going to fire on these buccaneers right here.
Okay.
So the penalty is only 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fire half, which is 3, I believe. 3, 6, exactly, yeah. So my shoot is a 7, and the penalty is 1, so I'm looking for an 8. Oh, nothing.
Nada.
Okay.
Okay.
So over to you, and I've just opened myself up to you there.
Yeah, so I've got 2 actions on the Buccaneers.
Right. But they have 2 reloads.
Oh, I'm not going to shoot you. That's not what's happening here. The Buccaneers have had enough of you today, so they're going to charge.
You're going to charge me, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
So, if we are within 6, that'll be possible, as this is all rough terrain. So, yep, you can charge me. You're
Down
open
the hill.
to charge me. Down the hill they go. So, we'll put as many guys into contact as we can. You had plenty of movement.
Yep.
But it's about as far as you'll be able to go. So,
Yep. And that'll give me 4 dice. I had 2 actions. So does that become a dedicated action then?
it does not. So, what you had to do is you had to take 2. You had to move 4 or move 3 because of the rough terrain. And
Yes.
then charge.
Got it. But still, 4 dice, needing 7s.
All right.
So.
You
That'll
got
be
1.
1. I'm
Still
going to
have one
spend my
for
last
fortune points.
I'm going to spend the last fortune point because I need 2 here.
Yeah.
And very specifically, I need 2 here.
Mhm.
2.
All right, so you did a little better. Now the milicianos are pretty brawly guys, so they save on a 6.
Okay.
So I save both.
But you still test.
Yeah, and I still test and I fail. So you've
Okay,
given
so
me
you
a
will take
15.
1.
So it wasn't totally in vain.
Mm.
All right.
It was worth it because if I could have got those 2 guys dead, that would have been me 2 ahead of you.
Oh yeah.
So, next card.
Next card. All right.
The game really does ramp up in speed once you start losing a couple of units and start to get a feel for the system. All right, so for me.
All right. Yep. Let's go. So that's I've got a
Diamond.
diamond to my club, so you are up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the guys here who've just sat around behind those barrels all day. What
Yeah.
are they?
They're
What are
feeling
they
a
gonna
little
do
safer
now?
now, so they're going to come out from behind the barrels. 8 inches they can go up to. So I think I'll get them just to go up to about here, right behind the house. I think that should be all right.
That should work out.
I'm just thinking I need a better line on fire, so
All right.
hoping that'll work out okay.
So I have got 3 actions with these guys. So how close are you to me? Let's see. If I move 4 here and move 4 there, it doesn't quite get me to charge range, but I can attempt maybe a point blank shot. No, can't quite make it to join these guys here. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take 1 action to rally and try to get rid of that fatigue.
And you do.
All right. And then I'm going to take a single reload action. And then I'm going to advance. That'll get me nice and set up there. That was a little far, probably. All right.
That's okay.
So there we go.
Okay.
All right. And
round.
we're on to turn 6. So turn 6 is almost always the last turn. So at this point, if we can't get a clear victory, it's just going to go down to whoever has the most strike points is going to lose the game. Which right now is
actually,
unfortunately me.
Hold.
Oh, have we an event again?
We have an event.
All right. So let's see what we get this time. We got out lucky last time.
Okay, so
A 3. That's
Stubborn.
stubborn.
128. So the player that drew this event card
Yes,
picks a
no,
unit
this
within
one.
their force and
And
removes
removes
one fatigue.
Yes, yes. I figured that's what it was. I was hoping I remembered that wrong.
perfect.
So you get to remove 1 fatigue from any unit you want, which
I only
we've
have
got.
1 unit with fatigue, so these guys.
So all that work was in vain.
Yeah, so these guys are back to fighting form.
Right.
And I get to draw the extra card that I was missing there, yeah?
Yep.
Fantastic. So I will use this card. And there.
All right, now I'm ready with this one. So a spade on an 11.
You've beat me with that spade.
Yep. So
Oof.
I'm going to use my lanceros to continue to hopefully.
To hammer my militia with my captain bravely standing behind them.
Okay, so these guys still had 1, remember, because you had 2. So that point takes that card takes away 1 fatigue from you, right?
Oh, they had 2 fatigues?
Yeah,
Okay,
they
so
had
they should
2
still have 1?
Yeah.
Or no, I got rid of 2. They rallied and got rid of 2, so they still had 1.
Yeah,
And
and
they
then,
dropped 1.
but then I hit you and you got it back.
Yeah, he got you back up to...
Okay. Manage your statuses, guys.
It was a good attempt. But
Yeah,
thankfully I was watching.
Okay, 8 and a
So
9.
2 hits this time.
Damn it.
All right, so
2 saves.
you save on a 7. Oh, a 9 and a 10. Wow. All right, so now 1 resolve test.
A 2.
A 2. So back
So
up
they
to
do
2
take
for
a
you.
fatigue. Gonna head.
Can't quite get him to 3 again, but
That's the killer.
All right. So your go. So now that you know I'm no longer a threat there, I could use my commander to try to do it, but he's locked in a melee. While he's in a melee, he can't use his command points on anything except what's in the melee. So if I had another unit involved in this, he could have them fight along with him.
Yeah.
But because those guys are way over there, not much.
I think what's going to happen over here is these guys are just going to fight.
That's what I would do.
So it's 4 guys leading 7s.
Yep.
1, I'll take it.
You got 1. All right. So I save on a 6.
Yep. Oh.
And I saved it.
Blast.
And I'll roll another color and not mix it up. And here's my resolve test. I failed that one.
Okay. You do take a fatigue.
So you've dropped me down
to 2 fatigue now. That's good, because that's 1 less action.
Yep. All right, so we're on to our next cards.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and go with this.
I'm going to go with this.
All right. So 12 of clubs.
So you get to go first.
Yes, sir, I do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move right here, 3 inches away from you.
And combat.
Take away all your cover.
All right. You're going to shoot me?
Yeah. And I'm going to shoot you with half my models, which is going to be only 2. I'm looking for 7s because we're in point blank. It's 1 hit. So you save on a 9 there.
Okay.
That goes up
for
to
a 9. 2. Nope. So I lose 1.
All right.
I'll take 2 for the fatigue.
No.
They're okay.
They're okay, unfortunately. I was really hoping for that fatigue. And then with my last action, I will choose to charge. Are you going to defensive attack?
Of course. I'll fatigue for 1.
All right, and I am. That nice table let's kick this table over. Give us some cover.
Yeah, launch everything at you.
All right. So you've got 4 shots.
Yep.
And they just hit on a 5. That's their shoot skill.
Yep. So here's hoping I can do some damage. Ooh,
all right, so
that'll be 2.
All right, nice save on an 8. So pretty good chance of getting some casualties there. Yeah. So I lose 2. So take those 2 guys out. There you go. Thank you. All right, so with my 3, I gotta tell you my resolve test. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Yeah.
Could potentially stop me. I'm looking for a 6. All right, and that's a 5, a 3, and a 6. So I do take 2 fatigue, but that's good enough. Good enough to keep going.
Okay, so you come in for the fight.
Yep. So now I move into combat.
And these guys are quite brawly, you said?
Yeah, so they're going to hit on a 6.
Okay.
So I've got 3 attacks. I was hoping to get Ruthless on you, but no such luck. Or had I given you 2 fatigue, by the way, I should bring this up. If I would have given you 2 fatigue, you would not have been able to do that defensive attack. Because you can never make yourself become shaken. So you would have to fatigue to do it, so you guys would have been kind of disarrayed. I would have done that. So
that's why it's good to get the 1 fatigue on, guys.
Right.
Okay.
So here we go. All right, so I only got 1 hit. So now you take a save.
Okay. 5, 1 dead.
5, yep. That's their save is a 7 in combat.
And I have to take 2 on the 6.
Right, so you
see if I can get 1. So that puts me to 2. There.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Done?
Yep, that's it for me.
Okay, so on to
over
me.
to you.
So I can give an experienced unit 3 actions. A trained unit 3 actions, so I'll do that. I will put it onto these guys, so they'll drop 1 for the 2 fatigue, have 2 left, and fight back with a drilled fight.
Right, exactly.
So
not necessarily, not a drilled fight, but just a dedicated fight.
Dedicated fight. Sorry, I keep getting the terms confused.
I mix up terms too.
3 on 6s, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. I will say the math in this game is very simple. It's just +1, -1.
Right, so
2 hits.
And I'm saving on a 6. That is my save value. Oh, you got 1. All right. So this is going downhill for me real quick here, right? So now I've got to take a 2-die resolve test. And I failed 1, so I'm going to take off. I'm going to run.
Lovely.
So you can choose to follow up. Probably doesn't matter too much, considering this is it.
Yeah, I wouldn't follow up anyway.
Yeah.
Because at this stage, I've got 3 guys who are good shots.
Yeah, you've got 2 reloads, remember, because you did defensive fire.
Yeah, I forgot that. So.
It doesn't matter too much as the last turn.
Here.
All right. All right, so now we're on to the last card.
Yes.
All right, so I've got a 7 of spades.
3 of spades.
All right, so I'm going to go first.
Yep.
So I'm going to activate my command unit, who is, well, I would take an action to rally, but it's not really going to help either way. So instead, I'm going to boost his action into the fight to give me a bonus to hit. So If I was going to go another turn, I would definitely try to take some fatigue off to hopefully cause some fatigue on him when I hit him, and then next round I'd get my Ruthless. But instead, I'm just going to push my extra action into that. So instead of needing a 6, I'm going to need a 5.
Okay.
And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys.
All right. Just roll them here for me.
Sure. So that's only 2, unfortunately.
2.
If only I hadn't spent those fortune points already.
Alright, so saving on 7s.
Right.
1 saved, 1 dead.
Right.
And then 2 on 6. No, I take 2 fatigue.
Okay, so 2 fatigue on you. And 1 guy was, right?
Yes, 1 guy dies.
There you go. Alright, so for the final action of the game.
Yeah, it's my inexperienced guys who would just rally at this point because they're losing an action and the spade only gives them 1 action.
Well, it's these guys, isn't it? No, you're right, it's these guys.
Yeah,
That's right, you hit me over there. That's right.
The guys here.
Right, so yeah. Now, however, you do have a command point. So, you could, that command point bumps you up from 0 actions to 1 action, so you can still fight back.
I think I'm okay. I think we'll call it that.
So you're just going to call it that.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So at that point, I have 2 strike points against you, but unfortunately, you have 3 strike points against me, so my men have had enough and are going to call it. So, good game, Justin.
Back to the boats.
Yes.
John, thank you very much for that. I do see how quickly you can pick up the mechanics of this game, because very quickly, John, your role became less teaching, more, maybe look at this tactic, maybe look at that tactic. But it's a fantastic game. I love the system. It's really, really quick to pick up. I've enjoyed this. The thing I think that's genius in this is this card deck. This really throws the activations out the window.
Yeah, unlike most games where you have to, initiative is kind of just like a random thing, it's just kind of a throwaway. We've decided to add a tactical element to that, as well as all the movements.
The random are very static in most games, so this, there's a lot more thinking to what do I want to do here. Do I want to, first 2 rounds of the game, I wanted those Buccaneers to actually sit there and wait for the Lanceros to come out round.
Right.
Every turn, the last card I had was too high. I'm sure that's not something that happens a lot, but I was sitting there going, why couldn't that spade have been a club? And I'm sure that will happen a lot in this game. Yeah. You'll wish for a certain suit or a certain number, and then actually seeing the fact that we match the card can happen.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, thank you very much. Guys, drop your comments in below. That is how you play the basics of Blood and Plunder. We will be back to actually show you some of the more advanced stuff that you can do in this, because there are ships down the front of this table we haven't had a chance to play with yet, and I want to see what they can do. So we'll move on here, get your comments in, and we will see you in the next one. Hi everyone, we hope you're enjoying this themed week. Make sure you don't miss any of it by checking out the playlist, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button to ding our dong so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, come across and join us on beastsofwar.com for more great gaming content and a fantastic community. Also, keep your comments in for your chance to win.